Hey everyone, welcome to Ninja Monkey. It's Sunday evening, Monday morning, depending where you're watching from. And for those of you who are wondering, who the heck is this guy? I'm Nathan, Ninja Monkey. Also have a second channel called The Happy Gaijin. I make content where I try my best to encourage people to have the best sort of experience in Japan, and help people. We're growing a community here of like-minded people that ultimately just want to share our knowledge with each other and help each other have a great trip. I help you plan your trips, give you advice when I can. When I don't know something, I'm very, very transparent when it comes to that. I've just come off a flight, a very, very long flight. So I thought that it would be perfect, absolutely perfect, to talk about this very important topic. The topic, which is basically like how to survive, or how I've survived. It's fresh in my mind. How to survive a flight, or what I do to prepare, advice, tips. Obviously, you can ask me questions, super chats, members, and patrons will always get a priority. And actually, it's what actually helps the channel sort of, survive and continue. So I appreciate all of your support. And if not, just hit the like button. I know that this is not my normal setup, but this is the best that I could do at very short notice. I haven't even shaved. I've had a shower. I look rough, is what I would say. I look very rough. Wouldn't you say? Anyway, let me quickly say hello to everyone. Lord McGray, did not expect to see you today. Well, here we are. I mean, it's been a long, long day, but you know what? I think that the streaming could actually help with the jet lag a little bit. So, oh, and we've got Sam. Awesome. Thank you very much for the 5 Ninja Monkey gift memberships, Lord McRae and Jim Ross. Hey Jim, how you doing? Thank you so much, Jim, also for the... What? Can I not put it up? There you go. 5 Ninja Monkey gift memberships. Much appreciated. Like I said, believe it or not, each time these little things do help. So let's see. Let's see if I learned something new that I can try on our flight on Wednesday. I can't believe I missed you, dude, just by this little bit. Oh boy. Didn't expect any Ninja Monkey anymore. Well, I'm here. Not going anywhere. And I'm very tired. Will probably be short one though. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I am tired as heck. Nathan had a plan. It appears he has executed the plan, not to find out if the plan worked. I'm here. I'm here. The plan is working. And Secret Agent Ninja Monkey indeed. So, first of all, I wanted to just explain my sort of route, what my route has been to get home from Japan. My flight was from Tokyo Haneda Terminal 2, which was very interesting. Tokyo Haneda Terminal 2 with Anna to Munich. Then I had a 2-hour layover, and then I flew from Munich to Malaga in Spain, where I then drove, I must admit, with a pit stop at Five Guys on the way home. All in all, I left my accommodation in Tokyo at 7:30, quarter to 8 in the afternoon, in the evening, to have a little bit of time at the airport, and I made it home at just about 3 p.m. local time. So you could do the calculations. But it's been a very, very, very long day. Flight time was 14 hours. 14 hours flight time. And yeah, 14 hours and 10 minutes actually. Flight time. I'll talk a little bit more about that flight time in a minute. And the flight time from Munich to Malaga was 3 hours. So that's 17 hours, 10 minutes in the air in the last 24 hours, plus the layovers, the traveling, the driving, and all that. Hey, thank you so much, Lord McGray. Thanks so much. Bought 2 eSIMs through your link. Hope it works and you get your commission. Here's to some Tampa. Yeah, I have Coke Zero, and I do have a Tokyo banana, a fresh Tokyo banana, much appreciated, very very much appreciated. And just one little thing, I don't know if I have all the like fancy fireworks and stuff, confetti set up this time, because it was a little bit of a struggle to get the stream up and running. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. I'm just saying hello to everyone. I'm not gonna read everyone's hello, but hello everyone. And actually, let's get the Coke popped open. Fresh Coke Zero. And for anyone that's new at this channel, on this channel, just for your information, we have a banana counter up there, and each banana represents one Sunday stream until I get back to Japan. So I have 7 Sunday streams until I am back in Japan. So 7 Tokyo bananas until I'm back in Japan. Nathan, how are you doing, Gazumi? You had a fantastic trip, I saw. Only 7 Tokyo bananas away from his next trip, indeed. 7 Tokyo bananas. Oh boy. Hey, thank you so much for the little bit of extra coffee fund. I will absolutely be needing as much coffee as I could possibly get, especially tomorrow morning. Because, yeah, it's going to be rough, I think. All right, let's see. I am not in Japan. I've just made it home. If I missed any important questions, then just rewrite them, because obviously I'm a little bit of a zombie right now. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, thanks for the gift membership, guys. Very very much. Just drawing me around. How you doing? Are you ready for your trip soon? I think. Good morning, Yuka. I am dead. 17 hours, 10 minutes flying, layovers. Right, so let me give you a little bit of my breakdown of my flight. My flight actually left at 11:30. Well, my flight was supposed to leave at 11:30 p.m. I think there was a slight delay, and we didn't actually get off the ground until probably around midnight. And actually, we were supposed to arrive at 6:30 a.m. Munich time in Germany, but we actually made it half an hour early. So all in all, we made up the time, and originally I only had a 1 hour and 50-minute layover, I believe it was, but because of the extra 30 minutes that I arrived 30 minutes earlier, it meant that I had plenty of time, 2.5 hours layover. Now, my experience with Munich Airport has actually been a very positive one. I've flown Frankfurt before, and I felt that Munich was much better set up for international transfers. It was super easy, super quick. I timed myself, and I got off the plane, and I wasn't sitting near the front or anything. I was sitting in row 26, I think, something like that. And it took me from getting off the aeroplane, basically getting off the aeroplane, going through security, because you have to go through security, and then going through passport control as a British citizen, non-EU citizen, to my next gate. It took me about 45 minutes all in all. So that is a very, 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 very efficient turnaround. I also found that the people at Munich Airport were incredibly helpful. I have to be thankful. I had a few questions. I think it might be my first time flying from Munich, actually. I've always only flown via Frankfurt, unless I've forgotten. Maybe it was zombie mode, but yeah, they were very friendly. I found that the staff at Frankfurt are a lot drier, and they just not as helpful. So in Munich, it was all good. So yeah, basically you get you get into the airport, you go through security, and then before you go onto your transfer gates, if you're going into the Schengen, then you have to go through passport control. And all in all, it was a great experience. Let's see if there's any more questions. Please advise what to do in Kyoto for 2 weeks on a low budget and where I can visit with local trains only. Um, Muslima, I'm going to keep this at the moment to surviving jet lag and surviving a flight. I've got a few questions, a few videos about itineraries in Kyoto, including some itineraries that are off the beaten path that I recommend that you check out. And basically, that maybe towards the end of the stream, I can get back to that question. So, right. So what did I do? Oh, he says here, Munich is very efficient because it has short walking distances. I prefer Munich over Frankfurt all the time. Too bad Lufthansa moved all flights to Frankfurt. I flew with Anna, but it was a Lufthansa flight actually. But I flew with Anna, and there's a few things that I'm going to say, and that is number one. Absolutely the best economy seat I would say is Anna. Close the second I would say is JAL. I do feel that JAL has a better overall service and food than Anna is my thing. But in terms of in terms of leg room and comfort of the seat at an economy, I feel that Anna flights are very comparable with some other airlines premium economy. Is kind of amazing. So if you can try and find a flight with Anna, for example, a code share, maybe it's Lufthansa, I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly, maybe it's Lufthansa and it's code share. In my case it was Lufthansa, but it was operated by Anna, so it was bonus, guys, bonus. Now, this was my strategy, and this is a strategy that I've been using for the last couple of trips. I always try to fly an overnight flight to start with. If I can fly overnight local time, so for example from Tokyo, 11:30 p.m. would have been overnight. If I'm leaving from Europe, then the same, equally overnight. It means that I'm already tired. It means that I'm already, prepared to sleep. It's my normal sleeping pattern, and it's going to help me sleep on the flight. I have, after many flights and many trips, maybe you have a different opinion. Maybe you can chime in on this, but I've decided that for me personally, the jet lag I deal with when I'm on land. I don't try to beat or outsmart the jet lag on the flight. I try to make my flight as comfortable as I can. I try to make my flight as entertaining and as comfortable and as chill as I can. And then once I'm on land, I deal with the jet lag. Then I don't worry about the jet lag on the flight. I know there's a lot of people do the whole setting up certain times and etc. Now, so when I fly on a night flight, I usually when I fly on a night flight, I usually eat at the airport or eat before going to the airport, and I make sure that I'm nice and full. And I usually grab myself one or two beers before the flight, like an hour before the flight, just to help, with the chill and help help with the chill a little bit, right? Now, the one thing is that you do need to also take into account that you will want to go to the toilet, so you need to be careful how much you drink. That's the first thing. The reason why I eat at the airport, even though there is an included meal, on the way back, is personally from my experience, and I've done this so many times now. I've sort of learnt the way that my body works, and everybody's body works a little bit differently. But I've found that actually, if I go on an overnight flight and I wait for the meal, usually the meal takes 1 hour. By the time you eat, it's been 2 hours, and I feel that actually it breaks up my whole rhythm, my sleep pattern. and it takes me a lot longer to fall asleep, and it actually wakes me up. So that's one of the reasons why I don't eat the very first meal at that time. If you're flying with JAL, for example, and your flight is, I believe, after 11:30 p.m., you will they will actually not feed you the first meal on the flight. They will instead divert you onto the lounge, and you will be able to eat and use lounge access before the flight, which is pretty cool. One of the nice things about flying with JAL from Haneda on a night flight, or with British Airways equally, because they will use the same system. Um, so that is one of the reasons why I don't eat. I have a net pillow, and I've learned that having the window seats for a night flight is super convenient. Having a neck pillow and being able to adjust it in all sorts of positions so that you can actually, rest quite comfortably makes a big difference. I also have an eye mask because I'm a little bit sensitive to light, and I also travel with these headphones. These are Sony's. Usually, I don't actually use them until I wake up because there's no need for me to wear these whilst I am trying to sleep, obviously. And there's another thing that I have in here which I think is pretty handy. I hope I haven't forgotten it with all the phrasing. Oh, here it is. And I have this, it's called the Airfly. It's called the Airfly. I don't know if you can see it there, but the Airfly, ooh, come on, zoom already. Airfly. It's a little Bluetooth transceiver, receiver, whatever, and you plug it into the flight, and it connects to my headphones or whatever headphones, which is very handy. That's the entertainment side of things. So yeah, basically I got to get to the flight, and I tell the person next to me, I say, hey, if when the food service comes, please don't wake me up. I don't want to eat. I've already eaten. Let the flight attendant know that I'm not going to eat, and that's basically what I do. I sometimes have a little bit of a sleeping aid. This time I did have a little bit of a sleeping aid, but I do believe that because it was after midnight, I was already very tired, and I'd actually woken up very early. This another tip is you can sort of aid your flight and make the most of your last day by getting up super early. I got up at 5:30 in the morning to do a stream, to get up, get ready, and do a stream. And I was up on my feet pretty much all day. So by the time I got to the flight, I was really exhausted, and it really does help. Okay, I'm going to chime in and see what you guys are saying in the chat section. Our flights are also Anna for the Frankfurt Tokyo flight. Awesome. Awesome. I am back home, unfortunately. Red Value, I am back home. I want to cry. Oh my goodness. Anything. That Bluetooth gadget is so great to connect your headphones to the entertainment system. No cable hassle. Got one too. They are pretty cool. They are really good. I'm not gonna lie. Noise cancelling headphones are a godsend. I can't get a second of sleep if it's too noisy. This actually, I find that the sound of the aeroplane, because it's quite constant, helps me, and I don't really need any aids. I just use the headphones basically for entertainment. Now this flight was a record. I slept around 10 hours. It's kind of crazy. I slept 10 hours. When I woke up, there was like 4 hours left of my flight, and I was able to watch Mission Impossible, the movie, when I woke up, and I was able to have the meal, the last meal, of the flight. So it was pretty crazy. Hey, Rose, how you doing? Hey, you got an air flight also. Cool. Awesome. In flight, earphones to quiet things down. like I said, I found that I don't really need the aeroplane, the headphones to fall asleep. Because as somebody's just said here, some aeroplanes have great built-in white noise generator. I agree with you. It really does work nicely for me. 10 hours sleep sounds great on a plane. Yeah, and I think also it, yes, yeah, Bashi, 10 hours sleep. Must have been really tired from all the early wake up, indeed. 10 hours sleep on a 9 hour flight. Actually, it was 10 hours sleep on a 14-hour, 10-minute flight. So I'm very proud of myself. And I did wake up at one point, but we had a little bit of rough, quite rough, in terms of like turbulence. And all my years of traveling, I would say this is up there in the top 2 or 3 flights where we had a good 15 minutes of turbulence, quite rough turbulence. But and then I fell asleep. I didn't even check my watch, because what I do is I usually just make sure that I don't take these off even with when there's turbulence. I don't want to. I know what's going on. I just don't want to wake myself up. Another little tip that I'm going to give you guys is these here. Ta-da! Now these are slippers that you can get from most Japanese hotel branches. They are, you could take them away. They're disposable slippers. These are from Appa, and these make for awesome flight slippers. I find that taking off my shoes also helps me rest and feel a little bit more comfortable. But obviously, if you do need to get up, you don't really want to walk around in your socks, and these work fantastically. So these are a pair, and if you're traveling in Japan on the way back and you're staying in a hotel, then yeah, grab some of these. They usually give you one a day. So you could even make a collection of them if you really, really wanted to. I have two options of flights, one with 8 hours transit and the other with 19 plus hours of transit, but a lot cheaper. Would you take the longer transit to save a bit? And what can I do during these hours in Doha Airport? Well, obviously, it all depends on your budget and how you're going to spend that money. I usually try to go for the shortest route possible with the best times possible. That's my choice. In 2023, when I went to and from Hawaii, that was the first time I've flown for more than 3 hours, and it was a bit rough for me, especially flying in economy. Yeah, economy can be quite rough, ain't gonna lie, but it is what it is. And I think you just need to, get on with it, have a strategy. So here are a few other things that I do fly with. Fresh from the flight, guys, literally fresh from the flight. I do have some deodorant because, guys, you don't want to. Wait a minute, is there some kind of a Kia connect? Wait a minute, this looks a bit weird. My video thingy looks a bit weird. I think I might have. Oh, let's take this one off. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. So I do travel with some deodorant to freshen up before a flight, freshen up during a flight if I need to, and definitely freshen up after a flight. Just be conscious that you are sitting next to people. I'm not a very stinky person, I'm not gonna lie. And I also travel with some hand sanitizer because you know aeroplanes can be germ farms. And I think that having some hand sanitizer handy is very, very important. You don't want to be sick on when you get to your flight, to your destination, and you don't want to be sick at home, hopefully. Anyway, that's the thought anyway. 10 hours of sleep would be a dream. I'm happy if I can nap a bit, but there's no sleep for me on long distance flights. Norma Gray, you know what? It's something that I must admit, it's taken me a lot, many, many, many years of traveling to actually even get to this point. I think that one of the things that stops people from sleeping on a flight is the flight anxiety, and that's something that I suffered from previously. But obviously, after so much travel to Japan, I think my body's gone, okay, Nathan, here we go. Here we go again. All right, we get it. We're doing this again, Nathan. So, but I understand it isn't easy to sleep on a flight. It isn't. It isn't. But there are a few things that you could do. Like I say, just tire yourself out during the day and try to get yourself some overnight flights. Next Japan flight is 91, 9.5 hours direct if you don't count the 5 hours drive to get to the airport. I'm not driving the hours to get to the airport because I had to drive 1.5 hours. But yeah, direct sounds really nice. Slipper tip, yeah. I think you've mentioned them in the past. I've got to do that. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, most business hotels and most hotels, they give you two sets of slippers. One that you use around the hotel. Those ones you don't take home with you. These ones usually come in like in a plastic disposable thing, and this one actually says, you're free to take them with you. I'm big on compression socks, tights during long flights. 0 hours. I've tried those before. I find them very. I don't know. I can't wear them, unfortunately. So long as the slippers fit. Yeah, I must admit that these are even for me a little bit tiny, but they're okay. Generally, when I am flying, I usually have my shoes off and I just have my socks on, and I don't have anything in the slippers. The slippers just there for if I need to move about the aeroplane, basically. Tatsui loves those slippers. Hey Tatsui, how are you doing? Slippers are a great idea. I usually keep my shoes on because I'm afraid I'll kick them away in my sleep and I won't find them again. Yeah, that is very true. However, I've I just think, how far can a shoe really go in an aeroplane? Bello, bello. Roll on deodorant. Indeed. Do you also wear a mask during a flight? Actually, I don't wear a mask, but I do usually. In this flight, I didn't take one with me, but in the past, I've always had a mask in my little bag. Um, Not for me necessarily, but I once was sitting next to somebody who was coughing the whole trip, and I vowed that in the future, and then I got a cough, and I vowed that in the future I would have a mask, an emergency mask, just in case. I noticed somebody sitting next to me or near me that was sick, and they didn't wear a mask. Maybe I should have given them the mask. There's no need to do that. The airplanes have excellent HEPA filters and the complete cabin air is circulated within minutes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with you, Loma Gray. But I'm just talking about very specific situations where somebody, might seem to be sick. That's the only reason. Closest airport requires layovers usually, so prefer to drive. I would do the same as you, I think. What's happening right now is that I've just got back from Japan and I'm talking about my little bit of an experience there. We bought a new type of compression socks before our trip in April from a medical device shop, and they were way better than those bought online. Better fit, less pressure. Oh, okay. Okay. Hey, Jim Hanson, the Skiddy Pop fan. Thanks for being here and welcome to our little community here. We talk about our travels, mostly to Japan, and we try to encourage each other with tips and just being friendly and nice. Hey, thank you so much. Gazumi Future Kombini Coffee. Arigato gozaimasu. I'm actually going to have myself a current Coca-Cola Zero. Yeah, Craig, absolutely. Always check your seat pocket. Always check your seat. Check your physical pockets. Everything. You need to check. Now, one little thing that I do, and I don't have my bag with me, but I do carry a little pouch. And in this pouch, I carry my air fly thingy. I carry some like ibuprofen or some paracetamol or whatever, whatever, just in case I have a headache, because sometimes I get headaches. And I carry, if I need a sleeping pill, it's in here. I even have a little sachet of indigestion thing, just in case, because I occasionally suffer from indigestion, and it would be horrendous to have indigestion on a plane, I think. And then I have some really, over the top things like for diarrhea, because I don't, just in case you have diarrhea. And I do actually have the cables to the headphones just in case. And that is basically it. I don't have anything else in there. No. So that's what I carry. Now this. Oh, and some earplugs, just in case. Now this pouch goes in a larger bag, and I'm not talking about a big bag, just a little sort of like a little bag. This goes in there, and inside of the little bag, I will have my headphones. I will have my eye mask for sleeping. I will have my battery pack. Now, this is a relatively new addition to my arsenal of travel things, because I had an old battery pack, but I was a little bit paranoid because of all the fires and stuff. And I bought this one in Japan. It's got a built-in Japanese adapter, so maybe American, if you're from the USA, you'd use the same one. But it means that I don't need an adapter, and it has a built-in power USB-C for my phone or for whatever I need to charge. And this has been, it's 10,000 milliamps or whatever. And this has been a lifesaver. It's been a great addition to my arsenal. This is always in my bag, and it's always in my bag. Oh, and I also have, obviously, a dental kit, toothbrush, toothpaste, just in case I really feel that I need to do that. But I got home and I just brushed my teeth. So that is mostly how I travel. I put my bag on the side on the floor. I take off my shoes, and oh, and I actually do also carry one pair of little socks, just in case. Just in case. I am not ready, but I will be ready in the morning. How much chocolate did I bring back? That is a great question, guys. So, ta-da! I brought myself a packet of 12 Tokyo bananas. I will keep 7 for the next few live streams, and I will give away the rest to some of my friends. But I bought a new type of, well, not new, I've had these before. This is the Tokyo banana creme brulee. Creme brulee Tokyo banana. And I'm gonna have it on this stream. This is very yummy. It's sort of have like a crispy base, like a pastry base, and it's got, I don't know, like custard, and it's caramel, and it tastes a little bit like banana. It's good. I'm carrying Nathan rather than keeping him up longer. Mmm. Very lovely. Oh my god, it's so good. Creme brulee, Tokyo banana. Tokyo banana brulee. I buy all the tech stuff that usually find the airplane tech works for me, so never use them. The goat of desserts. Indeed, I think so, Jason. Creme brulee is pretty amazing, really. So now, as for oh, by the way, thanks to you, this will be the first thing that I will look for at the airport. I need to tell you something, Yabashi. The secret to Tokyo Banana is that you might not be able to find Tokyo Banana everywhere. It's so annoying. These, as far as I'm aware, are only available in Tokyo Station, the Yaesu side of Tokyo Station. Basically on top of Character Street, sort of in the middle near the McDonald's. Like not near the McDonald's, like McDonald's side, middle side, but McDonald's side, if that makes any sense. Um yeah, in one of the Tokyo Banana stores there. I bought a flat white battery pack in Daiso 2 trips back, but I find it doesn't hold its charge that well. Anyone found this with this style packs? I'm not very sure, Gazumi. It's just that I bought a few different packs in the past, and I noticed that the ones that work really well are the Anchor ones. And whenever I've ever had to purchase or use a power bank that's a little bit cheaper or like an off-brand one, it's not that it can't hold its charge, but that the charging is very slow, is what I found. Anyway, in my experience, so I'm keeping to this. Talking about power banks, something interesting also happened on this stream, this flight. Sorry, on my way from Munich to Malaga Airport in Spain, there was an announcement saying that charging phones using a power bank on the flight was banned. I've never heard that before. I don't think I was imagining it. I mean, I was quite tired, but I'm pretty sure they said that charging using power banks on the flight was banned. Has anybody ever experienced anything like this? So is this something new? Is this something that's gonna become the norm, where you won't be able to use your power bank or charge with your power bank? Interesting, huh? Guam donkey brings to a banana sells that fast. I can imagine. Jim, we need to try it together. I can't believe we haven't tried it together. Be careful with power banks though. They with that capacity is not too high. You can only take 100 of capacity without special permits on board a plane. I think this is the maximum that you can take on an aeroplane, I believe. Yabashi, it was not a Air China thing. It was actually on Lufthansa. Lufthansa. They all do now. Interesting. Like I mentioned, very interesting. I never experienced that. I know that in ANA, JAL, and domestic flights within Japan, they want you to have the power bank like in front of you or like at not stowed away. But I've never actually seen that specific rule. No charging on the flight. Sorry, not charging on the flight. Just heard you can't bring a non CCC approved one to China. Okay. Airlines are afraid of power banks catching fire as they can get quite warm when charging a device. Will become a serious issue in the future, I guess. Yeah. Oh, there's loads of different. There was what was the oh, there's a whole Disney section of Tokyo Banana. It's crazy. It's probably under usage. You're right. I mean, this would become the norm on a flight. Came out about a month ago. But what came out previously, I had never read anything about not being able to charge on on a flight. I had only read and I'd only heard about having to have the power bank with you and not stowed away. That was the only thing that I had heard. Most airlines are now asking that power banks are kept with you. That's exactly what I mean. And not overhead. That's what I mean, Gazumi. But maybe this is a whole new thing. Um, and maybe it's a whole new thing that you won't be able to charge on the flight with your power bank. Not only a flight caught fire, or the power bank caught fire anyway, but even in the Shinkansen and stuff, there's been issues. They need to create a Tokyo Banana split dessert. That would be crazy. On power banks, make sure the wattage info is written on the power bank itself, or bring the little paper manual with the info in it just in case. Yeah, Jason, that's a really good tip. Not that it's ever happened to me in Japan or traveling around Europe, but my power bank was actually confiscated. Confiscated. I'm sure someone's using it right now in Thailand, because they asked if they could read the number, the amount, and this one doesn't have it, does it? I would think it would have it, but oh yeah, it does have it. Yeah. So they confiscated it. Had to make arrangements to leave my e-bike battery in Japan some years ago. It's still working thanks to my closest Japanese friend in Osaka. Nice, nice. Yeah, they're talking about stopping power banks with certain charge rate. The wattage of a power bank is not enough to determine if it's allowed on board. It's a combination of wattage and output. If watt hours is not listed on the power bank, you need to calculate it. Alright. That's because most newer airplanes have power ports now. That is true. And if they work, soon they'll charge you to get power on the plane, because why not? I don't know if they'll charge you. Most of them are free. The only thing that I must say is that I don't understand why there are so many flights that have just not converted or changed to USB-C. 90% of the world's power thingies are USB-C nowadays. So if they really want to encourage people to use power on board, they need to also like update. Yabashi, they usually have charging chargers, especially the long haul flights. They have USB. Interesting, the whole power bank thing. And then when it comes to actually having a little bit of jet lag, I think my advice is don't worry too much about the jet lag. If you have jet lag, you have jet lag. It'll be 1 or 2 days that you'll have to suffer through it and get on with it. What type of a person are you? Do you? Let me maybe we can do a poll. Can I do a poll? Okay, I'm gonna start a poll. Jet is gonna be um what I'm gonna put like. Right, I've just done a little poll there, and it's basically: do you prefer to have a comfy flight and not care about the jet lag, or do you prefer to have just a jet lag in? Isn't it the same thing? Have I asked the same thing? I'm not very sure. I don't know if what I've asked is exactly the same question in two different ways. Oh boy. Oh boy. Depending on the wattage, yeah. Lord McRae, I really appreciate the mathematics, but I've just got off a 17-hour, 10-minute flight and I can't even think right now, let alone do maths. They're concerned about fires, yeah. How are the tourist amounts in Tokyo? You know what? I didn't go to any major Tokyo hotspots, so I find it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to answer. I didn't really go to anywhere that I'd say was super touristy. Um, so it'd be very difficult. I didn't go to Asakusa. Shibuya seemed as busy as always, to be honest. I didn't even go to Akihabara. I went to Hakone, but I didn't go to the Hakone Shrine. I went to the volcano area. I went on the pirate ship. The pirate ship was very, very, very busy. I did onsen. Onsen was nice, not too packed. So maybe it isn't as busy as I expected it to be. USB-C to USB converter cable for planes that still have the old USB outlet. Yeah, of course you need to do that. I'm just saying that they should update it by this point, you know? Yeah, do you want jet lag or not? Exactly. Oh, sorry guys, I just can't think. The question is basically like, would you, I don't even know what the question is. Maybe, yeah, maybe. Might be a good idea. Or to mention it at least, you know? Wait, no, it's the same thing like you said, exactly. Basically, what I'm saying is I prioritize a comfortable flight over jet lag. Is basically what I'm saying. I mean, jet lag on the way back now, I know it's going to be bad. I know I'm going to be awake at 4 in the morning. It is what it is. What I know is I want a comfortable flight and I don't want jet lag. Well, obviously, I want a comfortable flight and no jet lag. But what I mean is just put up with the jet lag, or okay, so what I mean is, do you have a strategy on the flight to offset your jet lag? That's it. Or do you prioritize your flight and suffer the consequences? That's it. I managed to put it into words. Actually, wasn't too bad a few weeks ago. Try to be awake, sleep according to the destination time. I don't do that. 100% no. I used to do that. I used to do the whole like try to fall asleep at the time of the destination, and I've just learned that you're just fighting your body and you end up not really yeah. It's something that I used to do, but you're just fighting something that's very unnatural, trying to sleep at a time that doesn't work because your body clock doesn't work that way. So for me personally, in theory, you might read a lot about this, but it's you'll have a hell of a flight. Trying to sleep, you won't be sleeping. Just sleep when you're tired, sleep when you're not, and that kind of thing. Always try to time my flights to arrive in the afternoon, then have um, light dinner and go to bed early. Obviously, it does depend on what time you arrive. I'm not gonna lie. It does depend on what time you arrive. Um, my flights have been arriving like at 7, 8 in the morning, and yeah. So you mean you are too exhausted to put together the survey question in the right or wrong order? I am. I'm too exhausted to even think. I've even forgotten what I just said about the survey questions. But the survey question right now is 62% comfy flight, 38% jet lag of land. Oh boy. My opinion, for me, it works best to just sleep off the jet lag right the first day. Yeah, yeah. I mean, everyone, like I said, do it your way. I don't sleep the first day. I literally try to stay awake as much as I can, and I try to fall asleep at a normal time. I arrived at 8 a.m. I think this time, or 8:30 a.m., and I stayed up until maybe 10 p.m. that day, and yeah, it was hard, but it was okay. Nothing that coffee and Red Bull won't help with. Now, sometimes I've actually had a little bit of a power nap, set myself an alarm 2 hours, to at least have a little bit of rest if you're too exhausted. I don't think it's a wasted day. I did loads of things on my first day, loads. Wolf better going on Tuesday. The hype feels real, I can imagine. When you fly can make a huge difference. Running on adrenaline is very easy, very easy. Flying is always causing me tension. My recent flight to England on Virgin gave me stress because it wouldn't let me change my seat for free 24 hours before the flight. I ended up doing it at the airport. I can imagine how these things can be stressful. Yeah, it also depends on the time. Obviously, I'm coming from Europe. Maybe some of you are coming from the States. Might be a little bit different. But hey, is Nathan too tired to write a survey? Yes, I am tired. First day I land, I check in, I look for something to eat, and then I shower and sleep. Usually, landing in Japan is afternoon or evening. So I've actually had my flight in April cancelled. Maybe you guys can give me a little bit of advice. I booked through Expedia. Expedia are trying to push me to cancel my flight and rebook, but the same or similar flights are now like £800 more expensive. So that's a non option, really. So I know that I have rights in the European Union and in the UK, and I believe that the airline who cancelled the flight, it wasn't my fault. They've cancelled the flight, and they have an obligation to get me to my destination at a similar time, even if it's rerouting for a different carrier. Has anybody had any experience with that? I would appreciate anybody who's had any experience with that, how it worked, what I need to do. I'm going to deal with that in the next few days. I mean, it's my April flight, so I don't know if there's some clause where it's so far ahead that basically, you know, that they might say, oh, it's 6 months in the future, or whatever. This time round, I stayed at my friend's in Tokyo. I stayed with them. It was lovely. So it meant that I didn't need to check in. I just got straight to the house, had a shower, and out I went. It made a huge difference. I live over half my life living in Tokyo time. This is so true, Jim. I don't know how you do it. You must have no jet lag when you get to Japan. My plan this time is stay near the Shinagawa area where I booked the hotel, take it easy, buy a few things I need, and go to sleep early because I have a train to Kyoto at 8 a.m. Before I check in, there's some extra stuff to do like getting a SIM card, international terminal, maybe pick up JR Pass, Suica, etc. Yeah. Definitely try to push for a better solution, Nathan. I feel like the time until they might change the situation a bit, but don't let it discourage you. I'm not discouraged. I'm not discouraged, but it's annoying. Haven't had an issue with a flight just yet, except when it was my fault for missing my flight. When Las Vegas 8 years ago and thought my flight was on a different time. Oh boy, that sounds very stressful. Haven't experienced any big trouble other than 3 hours delay. Okay. Hey, Red Value, no worries. I am probably going to head to bed if I can sleep. I have melatonin. I'm going to take some melatonin. You cannot take melatonin to Japan though. Just be aware. No, I don't think you can. I've never taken it. Have I taken it to Japan? I don't think so, because I'm not sure if it's something that you could take with you. Anyway, so that's really a little bit of a chat about jet lag, beating jet lag. But before I leave this stream, I want to show you my awesome purchase. It's a Haneda. Check it out. Haneda Haneda Pilot Pikachu that I bought from the Haneda Terminal 2 Pikachu vending machine. Yes, there is such a thing as a vending machine Pikachu at Haneda Terminal 2. Wolf Better from Haneda Terminal 2. On the other side of security before you leave. Anyway, thanks everyone for your support. I'm glad I did this little stream. It means that it's now just coming up to 11 p.m., which is a great time for me to try to reset myself and sleep a little bit. On that note, stay positive, be happy, Gaijin. Thanks for all the donations. Let me just see all the donations that I've got today, just to say a big thank you. Jim Ross, thank you so much for the 5 Ninja Monkey gift memberships. Lord McGray, thank you so much for the memberships and for the super chat. Much appreciated. Yabashi, thank you so much also for some coffee fans. And Gazumi, thank you so much also for some coffee fan. Although I will not be having any coffee right now because my priority now is to try to reset and sleep because I got to go to work tomorrow. On that note, stay positive, be happy, Gaijin, and thanks for tuning in. Till next time, good night. Watch my last video. Watch my last video and like. Bye.